On today's first live episode of Wrong Side, we recap Michael's weekend in Chicago, Buckeye takeover at Wrigley Field, and heartbreak in Soldier Field on Sunday, which we are recording right after we get home. We'll recap some of the other games in college and the pros, our clutch moment of the week brought to you by Shore Metals, and finishing it off with our typical outside the line. In a world full of champions, we find ourselves on the wrong side.
Welcome back, Wrong Siders. Happy Wrong Side Wednesday. Today is November 20th. We're recording this live on November 17th, right before our flight back to from Chicago to LA. What a weekend. As you can tell in our voices, lost our voice, tired, bodies broken down. What a weekend. Highs, lows. We're going to start off with a low right off the bat. We're just going to get ahead of it. The gentlemen of Wrong Side, Moose, Bino, Joey, and I went out to Soldier Field today for Bears-Packers, the longest rivalry in the NFL history. And boy, oh boy, did we get a Wrong Side treat.
Yeah, it is 5:12 p.m. right now. The game wrapped up at about 3 o'clock almost, and I'm not sure how to feel, to be quite honest with you. So I had been... The season was over. Like, the season is over. We knew the season was over. So I was walking into that not expecting a win at all. I mentioned last week we were with Gambino, our friend who is a Packers fan, and we were like giving it to each other all weekend. Pause. But he was like, "You guys won. It's Devin Hester's like Hall of Fame induction moment at halftime." Shout out. Caleb Williams' first divisional game against the Packers at Soldier Field. I was like, we're cooked. Like, we don't have an offensive coordinator. Our head coach is an idiot. Like, we are losers, as I've been saying all year to you guys. What happened was even worse than I could imagine. I truly wish it ended up being 50-3 instead of what we did see.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Caleb looked great. Any of the conversation that had happened this week about like benching Caleb, starting Caleb, veterans not liking Caleb, that was never the problem. Caleb has been exactly what we've been expecting him to be and needing him to be as a rookie in the first half of his first season the whole time. The problem was never Caleb. Obviously, it's with the coaching, but he is still impressed today. He made more downfield throws in a game this is probably his best game of the season so far, I'd say. A lot of downfield throws, a lot of confidence with the ball. They were saying that they were going to let him off the leash a little bit more, and it was not Eberflus's like ultra conservative play. They were going to kind of let him play a little bit more, and he looked way more confident, picked up a bunch of huge first downs with his legs, and Caleb looked sick. That 3rd and 19, I forgot which conversion it was, but back shoulder fade to Rome. Like, that was sweet.
That was awesome.
That was sweet. The defense played tough, and it didn't matter. Packers fans were out, not in force, but there was a presence.
Lot on there.
There was a presence, which you should be expecting in a rivalry. Like, it was by no means a takeover, but I truly have no words. You can't even put this game on Eberflus. Like, I've been wanting Eberflus fired, and I'm hoping that the situation at the end of the game where they opted to just run 40 seconds off the clock instead of get a couple more plays in, a couple more yards to make it a closer field goal. It ended up being a 46-yard field goal attempt that got blocked at the end, which is not a gimme by any means, and you should be trying to help yourself out whenever you can. So another like stupid situational call by Eberflus there, but this game like was not on him like some of these other games have been. So doubtful to fire him. I'm shell shocked, truthfully. I'm upset, and I really don't know where to go from here. I said the boycott was in effect. I want to do it, and I don't know where to put all my bad thoughts because there are many.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score right now, and Caleb had 70 yards running, 9 for 70. He used as well, very well, 7.8 yards a carry. He had some great runs. I think that was a massive step in the Caleb Williams story. Like, the O-line's been bad. Yeah, he got sacked a couple of times in some big moments, but he had that one where he snuck out, got a first down pass. He had another where he broke off 2 long runs, first downs. Like,
a couple read options,
read options on 4th down. You're seeing that development kind of at a different pace, and I think it's exactly what you said. Like, you didn't want to rest him. You didn't want to bench him. This is a very pivotal game, even though it was at home.
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong. He had arguably as good of a game as Jordan Love. He didn't have a turnover. Jordan Love did. They didn't make a ton of mistakes, really. It wasn't really like they went for fourth and got short. I think they were 100% on fourth down today.
Probably like
sure.
2 for 2, 3 for 3, somewhere right around there.
So something like
Converted that. I mean, it was 3rd and 19.
3rd and 19
on the
in
final
last
drive of
drive.
the game.
Converted that after 2 sacks. I mean, like
that's crazy.
He had a great throw to Rome.
Yep.
He had another good throw into the end zone. That wasn't bad. I mean, like it was a different Bears team. The defense played well. Like really,
there was some fight. There was more fight than we've seen the last 3 weeks.
Definitely some fight that helps. But unfortunately, it's crazy. I mean, a block kick, they do everything right. It's still not good enough. 11 straight losses now, spanning over the last 6 years now. If they win again at the end of the season, it's
in Green Bay.
6 straight years without a win against them, which is insane. I mean, obviously it's a much bigger rivalry than Cowboys Giants, but very much rivals that rivalry because like the Giants haven't beaten the Cowboys like in forever.
Yeah, like Bino was trying to. He was being nice. I'll say he was being nice, but
good sportsmanship.
Good sportsmanship.
A lot of great content on the Instagram.
Yeah, a lot of great content on the Instagram. But that wrong side, we all obviously bond over how shitty our teams are, and there's different levels of shitty. The Bears have a Super Bowl appearance in my lifetime, technically, in the 06-07 season. Shout out Devin Hester for housing the opening kickoff. He had a good speech today. I was happy with his speech, but
yeah. They booed the McCaskies during the speech. It was hilarious. Everyone was looking around. That was awesome. But the Cowboys have 36 wins in the last 3 years. The Packers have not been to the end. They lose in the divisional round, not the NFC Championship game. The Packers make the playoffs every single year because our division has been bad. There's other teams around. Like the Phillies are in a World Series. The Bears, truly in my lifetime in relevant sports watching life, like I don't remember the Super Bowl that they were in, are the most miserable team imaginable. I think they're right up there with the Browns, right behind them even. Browns, they've had awful seasons.
They've had
16, 1-31.
Yeah, going 1-31 in 2 years, it's hard to beat. But like the Lions have had some struggles, but I mean they're pretty much on their way to a Super Bowl at this point. So you could say the Lions at this point are way better to be a part of than the Bears. The Bears have multiple Hall of Famers on defense in my lifetime, like some really great players that are really fun to watch. But how long until enough is enough? Like the team is horrible. I think it actually is boycott season, like the Athletics were kind of doing, or I think they reverse boycotted at some point.
Yeah. They stopped going and like only went to the last game.
Yeah, it's Chicago. It's the pioneer franchise in the NFL, and there's just such inept leadership in there. I don't know, especially after that. Like I'm not angry at all. I'm very sad. I don't know how I can like actually get myself to watch another game this year.
Yeah, I mean we got to the point where we said they should have won more games. They lost the Patriots game, they lost the Commanders game, they lost that kind of stuff, and now all divisional games virtually.
Yeah, Lions put up another 50-piece today. That's not going to be easy.
Divisional games the rest of the year. Packers are 1-0 now. You're 0-1. You get the Lions twice. Your Lions put up another 50-burger today. You get the Vikings, who are still good, and it's you guys. It's just going to be a battle. I mean, I don't know. The worst thing that could happen right now, I think, for the Bears, in my opinion, the worst thing is like a 7-9 year.
We won 7 games last year.
I know. That's my point. Meaning, like, you got a new quarterback, you got a new wide receiver, you traded for Keenan Allen, you got zero better win-wise. You may have gotten better a little offensively, but like overall success didn't get better. You're not going to be good enough to get a top O-line player. So I think it's just like middle of the pack.
Still have Carolina's second-round pick.
Carolina's second-round pick, but then you have like middle of the pack. Like you're not making the playoffs. You're not going to be in there. And then it's like, yeah, you might benefit with just being 7-9 and getting the 4th place schedule again next year, which would be nice.
Oh yeah.
But the also negative is that those teams keep getting better. Like those teams aren't going to slow down at any capacity.
That's fair, but I'm gonna push back on you a little bit with this one because Nick Wright may have said that the Bears were going to a Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback.
He was crazy for that.
He was crazy for
always,
that.
Yeah.
There's been crazy expectation placed on Caleb Williams from day one, and on it, like he hasn't like shown up to that degree so far. But I wouldn't be upset. Like 7-9. There are very few teams that probably get better from drafting like a first-round quarterback. I mean, maybe the Patriots. I forget how many wins they had last year.
Yeah,
but
right.
To go 7-9,
Commanders probably a lot better.
Commanders probably got a lot better, but like rookie quarterback, a lot of new faces in the building, aside from the turmoil, I still think you have no choice but to fire Eberflus at the end of the season. 7-9 would be okay. And I think our win-loss total at the beginning of the year was somewhere right around there. It's not like I may have said like 12-4 or something at the beginning of the year,
right.
But to be honest, we should have beat the Commanders. We should have beat the Patriots. Like we should be way more in the driver's seat to
Absolutely.
like holding the rest of our season. But 7-9, like with the schedule remaining, wouldn't be too bad.
So what does that mean? It's what, 4-6 now?
4-6, yeah.
So you'd go 3-3, I guess, to end it. That's not that bad.
In the division too.
3-3 is not that bad to end it.
Yeah, to end it, especially with the schedule
that means
we have
grabbing
left.
a game like against a bigger team somewhere.
Yeah, we have like one of the hardest schedules remaining.
Yeah,
in
you
the
had
NFL.
I saw it was like 700, like winning percentage was like 70.
Oh yeah,
like it was a crazy because you have all three teams.
Seahawks are in there too,
Yeah.
and like they're a pretty good team. So Caleb Williams is developing. You can't put this game on
7-10
Eberflus.
actually was I did the math wrong. I'm just realizing that 17 games, not 16 anymore.
Yes.
So 7-10 would be the record.
But 7-10 wouldn't
3-4
be like
put you 3-4 the rest of the way.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be horrible. It'd be grabbing a game or two against a better team. I still think you have to fire Eberflus at the end of the year, though this game is not like 1,000,000% on him like some of the other bigger ones have been. But shit sucks. Like super wrong side. I don't really know what to do anymore. Football is really hard to watch. Sundays are not fun. Sunday scaries happen all the time. I haven't had a good Sunday since the bye week. Shit sucks. I mean, we did other stuff this weekend, which we'll talk to soon.
The worst thing that happened was just that way to end it. I mean,
could not be worse.
I was making fun all weekend, basically saying like, "Oh, what if like they just like is it still a win if they can win this game?" And like mentally, you're like, "Okay, well, there's a win for us." Mentally, like we got over this little hump, and all game it felt good. They let at the half, they let after the third quarter, like they were still in the driver's seat, and just like. This bad sack. And that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to, like, put it on one thing. I really can't. Like, they had a fourth down stop inside the red zone.
Oh, yeah, like the one.
Like, I know, obviously, Jordan Love, like, does it again. He does that again, that same exact play. And he ends up getting to the one, getting the first and goal from the one. But not really a lot of blame, in my opinion, to go around today. Like, no one really got that burned. There were a couple big plays early, like the Christian Watson play.
That was like second half, though.
It was tough.
Two guys right there, like that's insane.
And it wasn't a good throw. Like pressure was there. Like he made a great catch. Lucky nobody touched him. Like there's that part of it.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's like
refs fucked us. Have to say it. Haven't gotten a call ever. Multiple unsportsmanlike.
Surprisingly, I was shocked they even got that one roughing the pass or unnecessary roughness at the end of the play. Like they got
that one was bad.
It was DJ, but I still was shocked they got one because they never get that one.
And the fact that they threw the flag on that one, but there were three other ones.
I felt like that was a guaranteed sign. Like, oh my God. Like,
oh, yeah. But, I mean, we're used to this. The refs have never been kind to us. I don't think Justin Fields has, like, the record-breaking season for rushing for a quarterback has never gotten. Like, he got killed when he slides. Caleb has done that a couple times, too. Bears have never gotten a flag. Bears have always been wrong side. It's difficult to be me. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
It's a tough life. Yeah. But outside of that, pretty fun weekend.
Pretty fun weekend.
Tiring weekend. We're recording this. I made the joke earlier. You hear in our voices and our bodies. I'm tired. My body hurts.
It was a vintage weekend.
Yeah, vintage weekend. Everybody turned back the clock. Everyone, like I mentioned last week, like the keys to the game were like find my friends. I got that. That was fun.
Big.
Con of the weekend was bad cell service in big moments. Just when I was out or at the stadium when I felt bad, like couldn't text anybody back. I got back here at like 5 o'clock. I had like 30 messages. None of them came through. Yeah,
that was tough. I thought you were gone forever for a little bit.
Right. So that was a disaster Saturday night. But then Friday night was fun. Like food was good. Mm-hmm. Everything was good. We went out to Woody Flats. Was the one?
Woody's Flat, yeah.
Woody's Flat. And then
big Ohio State bar in Old Town.
Yeah, that was fun. So
great wings. Best wings in the city.
Great wings. Awesome. Good bill. I think the storyline of the weekend was Moose and Bino. They got scammed, I felt like.
Okay, you kind of.
I don't know what the hell happened.
What happened? I didn't stare at the receipts.
So last night or Friday night, we went out to eat and drink at Woody's Flats.
Mm-hmm.
Moose bought that first round of drinks, and then we sat down at the table. So we had a waitress.
Yeah,
and we got 2 single wings, 1 double wing for you and Connie. You split it, and then we got a couple round of drinks. We got a couple doubles. With everything, it was $300 with tip.
Yep.
Okay. They go up and get 2 doubles at that same bar, and they charge them $70.
That's
nuts. That's it.
Because that also means a single is $17, which is also I would never pay that for a single either.
Right. So then there's okay, what's going on? So then last night again, they buy another doubles, just them, Moose and Bino again, 2 doubles, $65. I bought another round. I got a double for Bino. I got a double, I think, for Dean. I got a single for me, a single for Nat, a drink for Meg, $64 before tip.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So something is going on. So maybe it's
maybe you're right side.
Maybe I'm right side or wrong side. Maybe I'm I don't know. Something's up. Definitely not right side. I'm definitely gonna have to pay off a big credit card bill this week. But other than that, like, fun weekend. Flight was easy on Friday. Landed. Had to take an early meeting, which blew, and then small cheval for lunch.
So
gas,
good. So good.
Definitely sold. Should have got a shake as well, but well worth it. Woody Flats at dinner time. Pregame at Moose's. Like, that was fun. Darius Garland.
First basket, yes.
2 weeks. So Friday was good. And then Saturday
was
Ohio
sweet.
State Day.
Yeah. Also, the only wrong side of Friday was the most cheap fight ever.
Oh, man.
The Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight was the most boring thing I've ever seen.
Back. We will never get that time back.
Netflix was buffering for, like, everyone in the world. It was the worst fight ever. It was so, like, I mean, I get it. The guy's 60 years old and he had a heart attack 3 months ago. Like, he did say, like, it is a win for him to collect a paycheck and stay upright.
Yeah, I guess.
But it was
not a win
so
for
fucking
us.
boring. Like, yeah, I'd rather have him write him the check and not put it on TV. Like, that was so dumb.
What do you think, like, that did numbers-wise for Netflix?
Really good.
Well, here's why I say that. Like, you know, how many extra Netflix purchases do you think they were getting this week?
I don't know. Because I'm not a fight guy. And most of my friends aren't fight people.
Okay.
But they were all hanging out in the suburbs watching it. We were at a bar watching it.
But here's the thing, like, did they buy Netflix?
Everyone already has Netflix.
That's what I'm saying. So,
I agree with that. But in terms of, like, viewership, I bet it killed.
Yeah, I
bet Tom Brady roast was bigger, though. If I had to guess.
That's an interesting comp.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll fact check.
We'll fact check it for sure. It was a waste of our time. I thought Tyson had a good first round. He won the first round.
He did, for sure.
And he landed a good punch. And then after that, it was like he had the Frank the Tank, like, biting his gloves. Like, he was Frank. And we were like, what the heck? Bino pointed it out fast. We were like, what the heck happened there? And I was like, oh, I didn't even see that. And it was, like, all over Instagram the next day, like, his glove fixation of biting his glove. Did you see that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Interesting. He's a freak.
So
the fact that that's going on his record, again, collect your bag, like, great business move, I guess, for Mike, but Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, like, the guy
lost to Jake Paul
and is now, I think, 50-7 is his final record. But exhibition fights, like, these celebrity fights, like, I've tuned into a couple of them, and mostly they're boring anyways. But the fact that, like, Mike Tyson records a loss off of that bullshit is just not right.
It's, like, kind of depressing. Like, one of
super
the greatest
depressing.
fighters of all time.
One of the greatest fighters of all time, like, it's always going to be like, oh, like, he was 58 years old, so no one's going to, like, really hold the loss against him, but it's still dumb. So
I just think, like, I don't know. Like, it was such a waste. Like, I agree. Like, how did they sanction that fight? How did they not wear headgear? How did they, like, and I want to like Jake Paul because in a sense of, like, I really like boxing being, like, prevalent. Like, I actually do remember, like, the Pacquiao De La Hoya fight when I was, like, younger, which that was a huge fight. That was, like, the first big fight I remember. And De La Hoya was a great champ. And then I remember, like, in high school, like, I think it was, like, freshman year or 8th grade, it was the Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight. That was a big one.
That was sweet.
And, like, Canelo has his moments. Like, boxing is cool when it's great, but, like, and I appreciate Jake Paul, like, bringing eyes back to boxing in that sense. But I hate that he's bringing eyes back. Like, he's fighting, like, this guy, Ben Askren or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he was a wrestler who was a failed
retired,
UFC guy.
He's fighting Nate Diaz, but only boxing, not UFC. He's fighting Tommy Fury's younger brother, which I think he actually lost to Tommy Fury's younger brother.
I think you're right. But it's so scuffed.
Is it that Tommy Fury? Tyson Fury's brother.
Yeah,
whoever it is.
Tyson Fury is the main one.
Yeah. Tommy Fury's the brother.
Yeah.
I think he lost to him. So, like, he keeps fighting these, like, bums. Like, I don't care about, like, it's like Mickey in Rocky 3. He was like, they're handpicks. Like, these are literally handpicks.
Literally.
Like, they're handpicking these people. It's disgusting to watch. Like, it's so boring. Like, put someone good out there. Let us see someone good.
Yeah. I agree. We could harp on it. Dave Portnoy was right. He was like, Jake Paul is, like, good value. Like, this is the most rigged thing ever.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to take it. And he's like, I should have put $1 bajillion on it.
Right.
Obviously, the guy's 60. Like, even if I know he had a heart attack 3 months ago, and he was probably just really trying to make sure he, like, stayed alive in there.
Right.
But the fact that we took Tyson to win
knock
by
out
knockout.
for fun.
At the end of it, we're like, why the fuck did we put $5
$5
each
what a
on it? But
waste
we're
of
just like, what a
$5.
waste of $5. I should have lit it on fire. But Friday was good. We got to see Meg and some of their friends
yep.
too, which was cool. Went out in Old Town Friday night. Saturday.
And I feel like Friday night, really respectable of us. We came home about midnight.
Yep, midnight,
hung out,
1
chilled,
o'clock. Yep.
talked for a little, and then I was like, all right, time for bed. That was nice.
For an early start on Saturday.
For early start on Saturday, and we were kind of irritated about the early start. And we got up like 7:30, got dressed quickly, didn't even eat.
No.
Had like a mimosa that hurt getting down in the morning.
Pineapple juice mimosa.
We got to the bar, Old Crow, at like, what, 8:15?
We were there by 8:15, I'd say.
Thank God we were there. We were making fun. Like, why were we there early?
Yeah.
It was like kind of busy. Thank God we were packed.
By 9. If you
By
weren't there
9,
by 9, we probably had another 15 or 20 minutes to give if we really needed it. But I didn't want to go there at 8. I'm like, we could leave at like 9.
3 hours of Old Crow spending was a lot.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
I didn't actually spend as much as I thought, but like I am very happy we still did that.
Oh yeah, it was sweet. I think I was explaining to somebody yesterday. So basically, Michael had his ticket from his brother. He was probably going to go into the game. Yeah, that was huge. Probably going to go into the game regardless, at least for a little bit. See football at Wrigley was going to be cool. The rest of us didn't have tickets. I was like, do I really want to pay $150, $200? It was getting pretty expensive to watch Ohio State beat up on Northwestern. I'm like, no, I really don't. So we held out for as long as humanly possible. If in theory, like we only got there an hour, like 2 hours before the game instead of 3, and nothing was going on.
What do you mean?
Like, say it was a 3:30 start.
Oh.
And like there was nothing on TV at 8 a.m. Like we were all just like sitting there, like
fiending for football,
fiending for Buckeyes. If we had other ways to entertain us, we may not have went to the game, but we did. Got tickets for about $125 each. Sat in the bleachers. Views were great.
Awesome seat.
More pictures of it on the wrong side of Instagram, but there wasn't a bad seat in the house. It was really cool to see. I'm really glad we did it. Buckeyes with a slow start again, I have to say it. But took care of business. Like, it was really cool to see them. Carnell Tate, 2 touchdowns in front of his home crowd, being from Chicago, was huge.
Yeah.
Will Howard with a beautiful throw to G. Scott over the middle. That was
great seam route.
One of the best seam routes I've ever seen. It was super cool. Not a bad seat in the house. It was a great time. But Buckeye defense, slow start again.
Slow start again. They did. I mean, let's not remember. It wasn't a slow start right at the gate. They got a fumble right off the bat. So they got a turnover
after a long drive.
They got a turnover immediately, though, right? Yes or no?
After a long drive in the red zone.
Turnover or not?
Bailed out by a fumble.
Turnover or not?
Yes, they got a turnover.
Okay. Doesn't matter if it's on the 1 or the 50.
Bailed out by a fumble.
Then they do give up that touchdown, which was concerning. I mean, they
back
were playing
to back, very long drives from
They
Northwestern.
played a perfect Northwestern first quarter. They controlled the ball 2 very, very long drives. Yes. Defense was asleep. It's 7-0 after the first quarter. We've had the ball 1 time.
Right.
Then it was like...
Then it was over.
I mean, we scored 3 touchdowns in, I think, 6 minutes. That was the total.
Yep.
And it was 31 unanswered points. We definitely left some points on the field in the second half, but like whatever, not a big deal. Dominated on defense. Defense played well. Will Howard looked good again.
Yep.
The Carnell Tate touchdown, the first one, was very cool.
The diving one towards us?
That was the first one, right? The diving one?
I think so.
Yeah, that one was really cool. I saw the replay. Wrong side was the actual live TV coverage of that. Did you see that?
No.
So, like, they follow the pass, and people, like, stand up, and you, like, completely can't see it because of the right field, like, the foul line has the wall, so you can't see him over that. So that was kind of brutal. And then Quinshon vultured 2 Travion touchdowns early, but it was a great one. I thought 31-7 played their game, did everything right. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
They played well. Defense looked good. Caleb Downs, I honestly, I don't think I'll ever see him miss an open tackle. Like, knock on wood.
He's so
incredible.
Cool. He just stoned, like, a guy twice his size, like a tight end.
Tight end, like, wide open. Just
open field. Like, Caleb Downs is not a big guy. And just nailed him, like, super he's so good.
So that was pretty awesome to see, in my opinion. And then looking at the other side of things, like, offense was cool. I really wish they were going to call Jeremiah as a catch. I know we didn't get to see a JJ touchdown, but like, oh well.
He's still
incredible.
To watch him in person, and like there's very few, like I've been to like obviously a good handful of football games in my life.
It's a different player.
Some athletes just jump off the field. The biggest example I could give is Khalil Mack with the Bears. It was early in his career with the Bears. He looks different. He moves different. It was when he was still really good. Jeremiah Smith looked exactly that way, and he's only 18 years old. 18 years old. Crazy. Like that catch, that long catch on our first drive, I think.
Yeah.
Would have been sweet, but it was still really cool to watch him play. We'll watch him in a couple weeks, hopefully start a long and illustrious career versus Michigan. But it was really cool. I'm really glad we won.
Yeah, awesome experience. Center field, went out after the game. That was fun. Got a little Culver's. Went out all night till about 2 o'clock at bars. Engagement party was great. Shout out Erica and Ryan. Awesome party. Meg and I went to that. That was a fun thing at night.
I got to shout out Michael here for a really vintage performance. Michael, he was a year older than me in school. Like, we lived together, like, our senior year. We graduated the same semester, but he was a year older than me. So when I was in my heyday as a sophomore, Michael was the president of the fraternity. He was kind of washed. He didn't really get as greasy as the rest of us. And he said he doesn't go out that much at home either. So I know my friends and I know Michael, and I'm like, okay, like, maybe I'm gonna have to, like, take him home at 11. Like, old man's got to get to bed. But Michael drank longer than I did on Saturday. I was able to get a quick nap in, which was huge, and then really rallied, and it was awesome. We went out late.
Yeah, late was fun. Yeah.
Old Crow at 8:15. Game. A couple beers at the game.
Yep.
I don't remember what time that ended, but we kind of broke off. He went to see a couple of his friends at another bar, like me, Bino, Konikoff, and Zach Rowley went to, and Moose wasn't there. We went to get Culver's, and then we met up with some other guys at a bar, and then, like, I went home and, like, kind of chilled for a while. Couldn't get a hold of Michael because of the bad service, but went out with his friends, saw people for, like, the next 3 or 4 hours. The engagement party started at 6. He came back
5:15.
Yeah, he got home at like 5:15. Like, very, very controlled. I've never seen you get sloppy drunk, but, like, very controlled. Didn't really rest. Like, changed real quick. Maybe had a drink here. I don't know though. Slugged a Gatorade and was out. Open bar at the engagement party. Whiskey diets from 6 to 9 or 10. We went out to the pregame at like 7:30 or 8 p.m. Me and my friends did, and you met us out at maybe 10:30, 11.
Yeah, they extended the open bar an extra hour, so we stayed.
Yeah, so then we went out and we stayed out till about 2 in the morning. We went to Hopsmith over, I think that's Old Town / River, maybe Old Town, definitely Old Town. What a performance. That is all I have to say. Crazy Saturday. And then to wake up on Sunday, we were like, Maddie slept here, Jack slept here, and Sharper slept here, and everyone independently was like, please just kill me already.
Just take me out.
Just take me out. But a real vintage performance. Everybody stayed pretty clean, celebrated Maddie's birthday on Saturday. It was a great time.
That was fun.
All the OSU people were there. Megan, all her friends were there. Michael and Dean were there. Also, shout out Dean, Wrong Side, filmed in front of a live studio audience, our biggest YouTube subscribers in the building. Woo! But a vintage performance and a vintage weekend. Everyone stayed pretty clean. Nobody got arrested. Minor vomit, if any. Everyone had a roof to sleep on. Well,
oh no.
So Maddie, Wrong Side Maddie.
Oh yeah, she was Wrong Side.
She told me, "Don't let me take any shots." Maddie does not.
Yeah, that was
brutal. She holds her liquor pretty well, but she was like, if I start doing shots, like, we were all out to celebrate her birthday, and it was cool. She's like, if I start doing shots, it's not going to go well. And I am also not the best influence. So a couple people walked up like, let's do a shot. It was early in the night. I'm like, okay, we can do a shot. Also nice that I got to be associated with Maddie and get the free shots from Jack and a couple other people. Also bought some, so clean there. But
good move.
I found out this morning she ended up. I mean, it was pretty tame. It was puke a couple times and then go to bed. But
last night?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was out.
I found out the next day. Her and Jack did more secret shots, and Maddie was very adamant to Jack about not telling me they were doing the secret shots.
No.
So I got to give her a big fat I told you so.
And it wasn't your fault.
It wasn't my fault. So she owned it. She did good. Hungover this morning. Still hungover right now. The fact that it's dark and it's barely even 5:40 yet. I don't feel well mentally, physically, and emotionally. But a great weekend nonetheless.
Yeah, great weekend. Saturday was a long day. But it was fun. Like, I had a great time. Like, it almost felt like, in a good way, but it's like the scene of Seinfeld, like worlds colliding. Like, you know what happens when worlds collide? Chaos.
Yeah.
And it was chaos in a good way. There was home friends for me. There was Meg and her friends. There were your friends. There were college friends. And everybody kind of like...
bumping into random college people. Buckeye Takeover.
Buckeye Takeover was story of the weekend. Absolutely.
All scarlet and gray in Wrigley Field, barely any purple. So then you add that, like, worlds did collide. Like, I was like, Saturday morning, like, some of my friends' parents were there to celebrate other birthdays. So I was like, geez, like, this is insane. But bumping it, we were like, yeah, best of both worlds. Back in college, bumping into random people we didn't expect to be there, and then, like, tearing it up with the usual suspects.
Two favorite Buckeye Takeover stories of the weekend. The stadium at Wrigley, so red. So much red. And then it's like 28-7 in the third quarter, and the O-H-I-O starts going around Wrigley. Unbelievable vibes. It felt so like crazy intense, that was going on there. Also a small Wrigley part, extra point that went into the street. Remember that?
That was funny.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Then, other than the OHIO, best thing about it was everyone like seeing us on the street. I agree. And then we're actually last night we're walking to the bar. What was Hopsmith?
Yeah,
we're walking to Hopsmith from Meg's really good friend Nat, her apartment. So we're walking from there. We meet up with Dean. We're on our walk, and I run into who did I run? Drew Malafa and Brian Becker and some of their random friends I didn't know. Ran into them. And, of course, had to shout us out. And obviously, Meg and everybody rolled their eyes. They were like, is that the co-host of Wrong Side, Michael Sharber? It was, I was like, sorry, we're famous now.
Yeah.
And Jack, your buddy, was hysterical the whole night. Every time he would get a shot or a new drink, he'd be like, right side. And I'd be like, yeah, I love that. So, yeah, awesome time. I had a great time. Chicago rocks.
Yeah.
I'm tired. My body is going to be hurting tomorrow. I can't believe I have to work tomorrow. That's a negative.
It's going to be rough out here.
But at least tonight, we'll fly out right now. Our flight's at 8, so we're going to record this little part for a little bit, Uber there, and then I'm just going to knock for 4 hours probably on the plane.
I hope so. I can't sleep on planes, so better you than me. But this shower is gonna be the clutch moment of the week. Gonna give an early shout out there. It's gonna be laying down. It's gonna be the best laying down session ever.
And I think, yes, Chicago. So great weekend here. Wrapping up before clutch moment outside the line, I would say other highlights around the world. LeBron, you are my sunshine. 4 straight triple doubles.
First time in his career. Yeah,
first time in his career. Georgia, Tennessee. I saw the AP poll today. Georgia did beat Tennessee, I think, by 2 touchdowns. Somehow they're ranked 2 spots above Ole Miss in the AP poll, and Ole Miss just beat them by 14. So they love Georgia. BYU, a complete collapse.
See ya.
They might be done. They obviously have a big game with Arizona State. I think they technically can still win out and make the Big 12 game.
Yes.
But Colorado looks to be in the driver's seat for now.
Sure.
And then after that, Boise State struggled for the first half, comes away, another big win. Boise State maybe going to make a push, jump a couple more spots. The SEC kind of got a little more messed up this week.
We will see. And I don't know. This was what we had briefly talked about last week with our playoff ranking.
Yeah.
With BYU losing, that 4th conference champion spot is definitely up for grabs. Colorado looking like the favorite in the Big 12. Who knows where
this
the
Army
ACC
game
is
coming up this week is going to be huge too.
Yeah,
Army Notre Dame is a big chance for them. It's a big game for Notre Dame to get another good win, but another big game for Army to if Army comes out and beat them and they win their conference, that's going to be arguably a tough you would have to arguably say they have a better win than Boise State does.
They're ranked so low right now.
They're 24. I'm just saying, if they go out there and they beat Notre Dame next week,
that's a
better win than Boise State. It's a better win than most SEC teams have. Yes.
What's Notre Dame still ranked?
I think they're in the top 8.
Damn.
So there's that part of it.
That's true, and I agree with you. But also, if Notre Dame loses, they have 2 losses, being 25th ranked, a ranked loss against Army, and then a loss at NIU at the beginning of the season. Get out. The fact that they're still in it is kind of tough. I understand, Notre Dame being in the college football playoff is good for college football overall. I can recognize that. But 2 losses like that, I understand there's going to be a couple.
They've designed that 5th spot for Notre Dame, and they don't deserve the 5th or the 10th spot right now.
No.
The fact that they're they are kicking the crap out of teams. You're absolutely right, but they don't join the conference. They lost to NIU. There has to be some sort of punishment.
They're profiting over the fact that
they're going to get to host a home game after losing to NIU, which I think is crazy to me.
That is crazy.
So there's that part, and then quickly look ahead. Indiana versus OSU. What are the thoughts? 10.5 point favorites on FanDuel. I think they're 11.5 on DraftKings.
That's a great line. I would have said that would be the line anyways. I think we have to kick the crap out of them. They've played no one. We did say that about Michigan the last couple of years. They didn't play anyone either, and they were able to handle us. I understand there's been some transfers in there, and I love Cignetti as a coach. He's got them right.
8-year extension for 8 years. $8 million a year.
Not bad. He's got them right. He's got them looking like a winning football team, something that the Chicago Bears could never do. And I understand there's been some transfers in there as well, but take care of business, kick the shit out of them. There's no way that they have been able to close the talent gap that much in this short amount of time. Though I do love Cignetti, and they could be a problem for years to come. It's our game. 10.5 is a pretty good line. They beat everyone by at least 14, so no fluke wins maybe BYU or Miami may have had earlier in the year. Indiana is taking care of business at every single turn. Cignetti is great, but I think the Buckeyes are in a really good spot, taking care of business the last 2 weeks against some. There's Penn State, but Purdue and Northwestern, people were getting right. Everyone seems a little more relaxed than the turmoil at the beginning of the season. But this is another opportunity for Ryan Day to get a top 5 win. Scary again, but There's no way. There's no way that that game can be that close.
Yeah, the playoffs again. The playoffs continue. We've been in win now mode. Go out there, beat Indiana. I think the guys have a good relationship right now. It looks like everybody's kind of firing for each other right now. Go out, beat Indiana, get yourself right, focus on Michigan, beat Michigan. Then I think you don't want a slip up game. Oregon had a very almost losable game in Camp Randall yesterday.
Yeah, a scuffed flag too at the end I was seeing.
So go out there, go take care of IU, get a top 5 win, show you can compete still. Do that, take care of Michigan, and then you set yourself up for success later on. I think they're still in a good spot. I hope they can win the next 2 games and get us into a spot to play Indianapolis against Oregon for a rematch. But Indiana this week have to take care of business. It's fuck Matthew Drozda week.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's rooting for. I think he's going to be posting IU stuff all week. And then if we win, post Ohio State wins. So ridiculous. But have to come out, go out. I hope they come out firing, get a stop on the first drive, get a touchdown on the first drive, etc. Go out.
I want pressure. I want quarterback pressure.
I like that it's noon for us. I like that it's at home. I know Indiana's not a crazy road environment, but still our guys are taking them home. We're home for the rest of the year. Take care of business. Do that. Beat Indiana.
There we go.
Yep. Now, wrapping that up quickly, we're going to kick it to our ad read. Clutch Moment of the Week brought to you by Shore Metals. Our clutch moment of the week is brought to you by Shore Metals. Big enough to serve you and small enough to know you. See Stan. He'll help you out. Joey, who's your clutch moment of the week?
Mine has to go out to the November birthday chain. I mentioned it last week briefly, and I'm adding to it as we speak. I'm not an astrology guy, and I don't know what astrology sign you are, but it seems like I'm compatible with these people because I have a lot of good friends and family who have birthdays, starting with my Uncle Mike on November 9th. I don't have anyone on the 10th. 11th is Michael. 12th is my mom. 13th is Maddie. 14th is Tyler Snepp, friend of the program. 15th was somebody, all the way to my dad on the 24th. So don't have the birthday chain going quite yet, but clutch moment of the week, a lot of birthdays to celebrate this month. And it was really good time. So clutch moment of the week, the November birthday chain. How about you?
Yeah, elite Saturday night celebrating Maddie. Unfortunately, wrong side you mentioned earlier with throwing up on the secret shots, but can't control that. That was her. It wasn't our fault. My clutch moment of the week, though, goes out to Pat Riley, one of the arguably saviors of Laker basketball. When they got Magic, they fired Paul Westhead. He takes over the team. He's going to get a statue outside of Crypto Arena. So adding to the lore of Laker legends, Kobe just got his second one before the season started. Pat Riley's going to get his, the godfather of basketball. So shout out Pat Riley. Great coach. Awesome series on Max.
Yes.
Showtime. That was great. And Adrian Brody was awesome as Pat Riley. So maybe he'll get an invite to the statue ceremony. But clutch moment, Pat Riley and November birthdays. Now to Outside the Line.
All right, wrapping it up here. Very tired on Monday night with Outside the Line. Another great weekend in Chicago. We'll finish it up here. Tone Deaf Person of the Week. Michael, who are we starting out with?
Sticking with basketball, surprisingly, 2 back-to-back with Clutch Moment and Tone Deaf. But Tone Deaf was Caleb Martin and Kyle Lowry, 2 NBA players. Were just on the Heat for a couple seasons. Caleb Martin was, Kyle Lowry was as well. The Heat announced that they weren't going to give tribute videos to them in their return to their game. They're both on Philly, right? Kyle Lowry's also on Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Philly is coming into Miami. There's not going to be a tribute video. They said they only do tribute videos for if you made an all-star game with them or you made it to an NBA championship with them.
They must have been close then because I think they were on that 8 seed team that took the Celtics to 7. They were damn close to a championship.
Almost close to a tribute video, but they were like, yeah, we saw that, but not really going to harp on it too much. It's just like we're going to be focused on trying to get a win for Philly. To me, it's almost as if like we're giving out participation tribute videos now.
That's facts.
Like we just saw an awesome moment with Klay Thompson returning to Golden State. That was an awesome moment. Like a very cool moment. They have the captain hats on. They have the captain hats on. Everyone's cheering. It was a great game back and forth. Like someone who won 4 rings, like very, very deserved tribute. and now Caleb Martin and Kyle Lowry would also have got one from Miami. It's not like it's a crappy organization. Miami's very good.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, very tone deaf that they even expected to get something like that.
I guess I could kind of get it because they did have a fair amount of success. They were probably right on the cusp of, like, I know the Heat were in the bubble championship versus the Lakers. They must have not been on that team. Or the Heat are counting it as a bubble ring too. That's the other spin zone
Wrong.
to this one. But I mean, they had their time, especially Martin. Lowry, I feel like was more of they were both
He
impactful,
came
but
later.
they weren't super.
He came. I don't know.
Both very impactful. Not any tangible success in terms of all-stars or rings, but yeah, no participation trophy tribute videos. Yes, we all love listing off role players in the NBA, but they don't all deserve tribute videos.
I just thought it was like crazy. Like I think it was you and I. Was it you and I this weekend who were talking about all-time greatest Heat players?
I think it was because I didn't think LeBron embraced Heat culture was my take.
Yeah, like you were like LeBron's not on Mount Rushmore, and I'm like, what? Like who are you putting on there? And you named like two other that were like locks, which I also said were locks, which were Alonzo and D Wade, and I was like, who's the fourth? And you were like, maybe Mario Chalmers, and I was like, get out.
Okay, so that was not the take.
If we were on that, like that's why I was like. The Heat are a good org. I don't know. Very tone deaf, my opinion. Basketball is starting to get back into my life because the Cowboys suck. So basketball more focused from me. So maybe you'll hear more basketball from me. What about you? Tone deaf person of the week.
First off, definitely tailing that take that more basketball now because the tank is on for the Bears. But my tone deaf people of the week.
You did say also leaving the Bears game yesterday. I'm so excited college basketball just started.
Yeah, and then the Buckeyes got destroyed by A&M on Friday night, so I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna learn an instrument or something. But my tone deaf person of the week. So my apartment is the hub, the refugee camp on the weekends where all my friends sleep on the floor.
Right,
and
right.
we all know how to get in. People were sleeping elsewhere this weekend. Different plans led to different sleeping arrangements. Our friend Reese and Austin, they left a key out for some of the girls to get back in when they came back late. They came back late. Turns out, wrong key to the apartment. It wasn't to the door.
No.
It was the mailbox key. It was 3 a.m, if not later. So the girls, being the geniuses that they are, really thought it was the right key, and that for some reason this key just needed thousands of pounds of force to turn the lock. So double tone deaf goes to 1, leaving out the wrong key, act like you've been there before, and 2 goes out to breaking the key in the lock. Didn't get stuck in the door, but still, how do you break the key? Like, clearly it didn't work.
So if it didn't break in the door, how did it break? Like, it snapped off, and luckily it came out. Did it come out? Like, luckily it didn't just get stuck. Like, is that
Here's the picture. It's definitely like broken and bent, but may still be usable. I'm not sure if this glare is going to clear.
Oh,
it's not.
I see it.
So it's definitely like that's not supposed to be there. So broken, maybe still usable for the time being, but inexcusable to leave the wrong key out if you're going to leave a key out.
What time was the key issue? Were there people like
they went to the hang up after we left the bar on Saturday?
We left. They went to a different bar.
They went to a different bar.
Oh my god! It was like 2:00 already.
Yeah, crapshoot, shit show.
Wow,
cooked from the start.
That completely tone deaf. Yeah, awful. Not even like thinking twice, like putting the mail key out. I think it goes back to square one. Whoever left that key out, I think is our most tone deaf.
Yeah, because then you can't even be mad because definitely Bergens and the girls, they do some suspect things.
Key in so much. You can only put that key in so much. Like, there's no special way. They don't know what other keys are.
But I don't get how you break the key. But also, like, if it was the right key, it would have worked in the first place.
Key breaking still bad. Yeah, key breaking still bad.
Both bad. Act like you've been there before.
Definitely. Wrapping up though now, wrong side, right side. What do you got?
Mine goes out to the Colorado Buffaloes yet again. Program building, community building out there with Coach Prime. Peggy, I don't remember her last name, but 100 years old this week, was at the game, a longtime season ticket holder for the Colorado Buffaloes. Whole stadium was singing her happy birthday on the Jumbotron. She was crying. It was an emotional moment. This is why we love sports. Very right side, Colorado in the driver's seat for the Big 12 for the rest of the year. Right side goes out to Peggy. What about you?
Love that. I've seen some videos of her, and she hangs out with Prime a good amount. I think if this is the same person I'm thinking of, if this is like one of their super fans, I don't know if it's is, but like they
It
have
seemed
one
like
super
it.
fan that like everybody knows. My buddy who played basketball at Colorado, he hung out with her and like always took pictures. It was always on the Instagram, like so. If it was the
It
same
went
woman,
viral,
very
so it was
cool.
probably their super fan. But I don't know what she's doing hanging out with Coach Prime because she is 100 years old, and I
He's
don't
prime
know.
time. He's prime time.
I don't know that what they would really have in common. But go off, go off.
For me, my right side, obviously an awesome time in Chicago. Feel bad for the listeners this week. My voice sounds like I like just smoked 7,000 cigarettes, but I
Yeah, this
just
is
lost it
painful. Yeah,
screaming and doing everything. But my right side was an amazing weekend in Chicago, yes. But the right side part about it was I said a week ago when I went to Nashville for the bachelor party, had a great time, awesome time, but didn't get cookout. Like really wanted to get that while
yeah.
I was there.
Okay.
This weekend, got Italian beef, got Culver's. Like, yeah, we didn't get deep dish, whatever, but like that's not like an everyday, like we're just gonna go sit down and grab it kind of thing. But like got Chicago food, had small cheval, also good. Like
So
we ate
good.
well. We ate well.
Yeah.
Very, very good food week, I thought, especially for like working Friday. And like I almost didn't get Culver's because I missed out not leaving the stadium. And I'm very glad I went. Other than it taking a little longer, very glad I went. Love
Especially for
Culver's.
the
Great food.
emergency two tenders at the end of the
Yes.
night, at the
Oh
end of
yeah.
Saturday night.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The emergency two tenders when we got so basically backstory was drinking all day. We all whatever. Don't bully. I got a double butterburger, curds, and tenders. Thought I was gonna eat it all. Obviously, didn't. Had two leftover tenders for when I got back from the barn on Saturday. I don't even think they lasted 5 minutes. We were back at the apartment.
I don't
I
even
didn't
know
even
if you
heat 'em up.
actually. I don't even know if you sat down before you
No,
ate
I
them.
think I ate one standing, sat down, finished the second one, and Maddie was like, "Good tenders." I'm like, "Already gone, already gone." So Culver's ECF, we've been calling them emergency chicken fingers, were very good. Great right side. What about wrong side to wrap it up?
Wrong side. Busy weekend, like we've talked about a lot at this point. Didn't get around to setting the fantasy football lineups. It's been a
Me
down
as well.
year.
Me
Yeah,
as well.
down year, anyways. But this one is pretty inexcusable. So I have a very competitive. Now a 14-team family
Wow,
league. So it's my
14's a
sisters,
lot.
my parents are a team this year. I think my sisters are on the team. We have multiple like pairings just because we're
Sure,
I'm not going
sure.
to a 16-man league with my mother. She does not know ball like that. It would not end well for anybody.
Right, right, right.
But my parents, I'm one of the worst teams in the league this year. My parents are the worst team in the league this year with only one win heading into the week. I had two people. I had Baker on bye, another person hurt. So those were the only two people that were like DNPs, did not play. The rest were active players, but
Right.
we totaled 44 points, and my
Oh my
parents
god.
smoked me. Had Jerry Judy on the bench with 26. They only scored like a little over 100, so it was a super winnable game, like on average, but didn't get around to looking at that, and that's one of the worst fantasy scores I can remember in any league I've ever been in ever, so that was pretty tough. That was pretty wrong side.
Yeah, I also did not set my lineups. We were out late Friday night or Saturday night. We got up and just went to the game Sunday. So like it was bad. I mean, in one league, I will say I scored 84 points, which obviously isn't great.
Yeah.
But in that league, looking at my bench, Kyler Murray by, James Conner by, Marvin Harrison by, Malik Neighbors by, Kate Otten by. Like it was just bad. So there's at least like that saving grace for it. And then I was talking to another friend in one of our leagues. I'm getting crushed. I've had injuries all year. I'm in like third to last,
It's a
second to
rough
last.
year.
But the guy who's in last, we looked today in our league. He's points against. It's week 10. Points
Yeah.
against 1,500. He's on average. People are scoring 150 against him. I mean, like that's ultimate wrong side. Like
Yeah.
complete wrong side. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, fantasy disaster for both of us this week.
Yeah.
My wrong side goes at the Jack Stazak, Iowa from our dynasty. So never really got to meet him. Was not in the Big Ten in our dynasty either. So didn't even play him, but hung out with him. Cool dude, funny guy. I mentioned him earlier in the episode that every time I saw him getting a drink at the bar, he was like, "Hey, this is right side, this is wrong side." Like depending on the type of drink he got. Very cool dude. Ended up also staying the night. He did not come back with us from the bar. So he was like, "I'll just meet you guys there. I have a key."
He had business to attend to.
Yeah, business to attend to, whatever. So we wake up Sunday morning. He's on the couch. I'm on the couch. And I wake up and we're all kind of getting ready. Maddie's awake. We're getting ready for the Bears game. And unfortunately, he's like slowly getting up and he's like, I think I ordered White Castle last night and I fell asleep before I got here. So 100% the worst wrong side when you go out, in my opinion. To me, going out, like part of going out is like you're budgeting for that food after, or you're getting like me. I had tenders before that I saved for after. Like there's something to look forward to when the night is like over.
Yeah.
Going out and forgetting the meal, falling asleep from the meal is all-time bad beat. Will Jones, also a main, not defender, but like main, like yeah, defender,
offender,
offender,
probably
main offender of this issue. He always falls asleep. He's done it for 6-7 years since I met him, since freshman year. Like always has done it. Unfortunately for Jack, like White Castle was outside. Lo and behold, we opened the front door. Like there it was outside. He's asking if he could. He's like, "You guys think it's still good?" It was in basically the fridge all night outside. Obviously threw it away. Didn't eat it, but wrong side goes out to Jack. What a bummer. I mean, the worst. I hate that. Sucks. Like that's happened to me like once, and I was so mad.
Oh, I think it's maybe happened to me once or twice too. Another act like you've been there before moment. We were texting about this earlier, and Jack is no rookie to being an offender on this as well. There has been a number of White Castle orders left on my front porch over these last 6 months.
A White Castle order as well is also. I mean, that's insanity.
He either orders the most random Mexican food ever. Like, I don't know where he's ever gotten this food from. There's a handful of places nearby, not any of which I can name off the top of my head.
That you like.
Yeah, they're all ghost kitchens that are open at 3 a.m. So no idea where those exist, or it's White Castle. I guess probably we usually say out to like close the bars at 2, if not a couple other later bars at 3 or 4. So slim pickings that late at night. But White Castle, yeah, happened a couple times. As far as falling asleep before the food on a night out, I likened it to, you play a great game, you have a good night, you're leading at halftime, couple other good moments here, you line up for a game-winning field goal.
You're even leading after the third quarter.
You line up for the game-winning field goal and press that order button on the White Castle order. The kick is blocked. You fall asleep. So a tough moment in a number of different ways this weekend for the Chicago crew.
The Chicago crew can't stop losing. That city embodies wrong side. Just an ultimate disaster. But another awesome week on the pod. Some great stories. I hope you guys enjoyed the first half of the episode. We got to record in Chicago, wrapping it up Monday night away back home in California and in Illinois and Chicago. Great episode. Please please subscribe. The content's flying. Hope you guys have liked it. Hope to see you guys back here soon. Thank you guys for listening. Follow Wrong Side Takes. Have a great Wrong Side Wednesday.
Shout out all the people we saw in Chicago. I know we'll see a lot of people in Columbus for the Michigan game over the last couple of weeks. Thank you guys for listening and shouting us out in person. Also, when we saw you, great time in Chicago. More great stuff coming up. Hit the pages like Michael said. Stay blessed.